Hi, welcome everyone. My name is ANWO Professor to Arrest, and today you're in luck. You're about to understand a business model that no one else on the planet understands, much less has taken part in. In our business plan, we take you from zero to a six-figure salary in months. Not only that, we get you profitable within the first month, within the first week. Not only will you understand exactly how this works, but you will already be building your business. By the second and third week, your business will be growing, and by the fourth week, some of you may even get $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in bonuses on top of the $3,750 that you will have netted in profit due to following our directions. It's a pretty amazing opportunity. Now, who am I? Well, I'm a math professor. I have a degree in astrophysics from Berkeley, a master's in mathematics from San Jose State. I was a tenured professor for about 17 years. I've recently retired, and I've been involved in stocks, trading, options, Forex. I'm on IG. I've started many different businesses, and I've focused on transformational leadership, social justice, really helping within our community. Now, who's Hung Quach, our CEO? Well, Hung just sees money. Everywhere he goes, he sees money. He came here and worked as a construction person, and within 2 years he had a 30-person team working for him. He broke his TV, went there, saw how they were fixing it, said, wait a minute, can I bid to fix TVs? Within a few months he had his own TV repair company working for him. He was a millionaire by 30 years old. And he has spent the last 20 years singularly focusing on one thing and one thing only, life insurance, and training people to become excellent business owners in life insurance. So you put the both of us together and sparks are flying. This is the culmination of our efforts thus far, but it gets better than that. Can you imagine a world where anyone can make a six-figure salary within months? That is what we are doing in ANWO, and you are going to be part of that story. We are going to revolutionize how business is done. Imagine, instead of going to a car dealer and buying a car, you go to a car dealer, you buy a car, but they say, you know what? Hey, we know you might have trouble making those payments. We know you might have trouble with insurance, and could you use some extra cash anyways? Here, let's build you your own small little car manufacturing company. Let's get you profitable, and let's make you $10,000, $20,000 a month so that you can afford your car payment, your insurance, and maybe have a little left over for your parents, your family, or whoever you're taking care of. What if every single business worked that way? Well, in ANWO, we are showing every business how that is possible. And we're doing it through one of the coolest methods ever, life insurance. You might say, why is life insurance cool? Because that is the single reason why families who become successful go down the tubes. Because the breadwinner dies, or the genius who was making money eventually passes away, and nothing is set up for their kids or their kids' kids or their kids' kids' kids. When you look at people living in the rich areas, I guarantee you it's not because they made money. It's not because they worked hard. It's because they inherited money from a life insurance policy. Can you imagine if 10% of the Latino population had life insurance? Can you imagine if 10% of the Tongan population, African American population, any population that has been marginalized or hurt by the American concept had 10% life insurance? Trillions of dollars would enter these cultures tax-free. We are absolutely eradicating poverty. And that is what makes our company so special, is that we're the only company on the planet whose mission statement is to serve humanity. Meaning, what are the ways we can help humanity? We can prevent homelessness. We give everyone a home. Just end starvation. Make sure everyone has food to eat. We can end slavery. Right? There's still slavery that goes on in the world today. And yes, we have poverty. Make no mistake, if you're making $100,000 or $200,000 in the Bay Area, you are poor. Right? It's $3 million just to buy a home here. And no matter where you are, if you're working 40 hours a week, you are poor. You're not middle class. Right? When we came out of the jungles in Africa, we only worked 2 to 3 days a week, every other day as hunters and gatherers. Now we're working 5 out of 6 out of 7 days. It's crazy what we're doing. And it's all because businesses are run incorrectly. 90% of the profit goes to one person at the top. Why? So that they can sell the company to an investment banker. that sells it to a market specialist that makes it IPO. If you want your company to go IPO, you cannot give away your company to your employees. Well, we have no intention of going IPO. We give every bit of money away to our employees. And by doing that, 90% does not go to a person at the top. It goes to all of us. One thing you don't understand is insurance pays the best commission ever. We're talking thousands of dollars for a $500 policy. There are 30 million Americans out there who don't have insurance, and yet who would like insurance, but sadly can't afford it. Well, what is 30 million times $4,800? That's $144 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, there's $144 billion of commission on the table that insurance companies are willing to pay right now. It doesn't require a fancy car dealership. It doesn't require a factory. All it requires is getting people insured. $144 billion. Everyone wants a life insurance policy. No one has it because no one can afford it. Well, what if instead of taking all that $144 billion and keeping it for ourselves, we spread it out? What I'm saying is we have enough to go around so that millions of people can become wealthy within the United States. And then you think, okay, Tua, what about all the other people in the United States? Well, guess what? We can do this in Canada. We are going to become international. Imagine if all of Mexico can get insurance policies. All of India can get insurance policies. It's going to be crazy, and you are part of this. We are literally going to be replacing unemployment with this program. Mark my words. And this is just the beginning, because once we have created a mass of folks who are millionaires, guess what we can do? We can actually teach our children correctly like we did before schools were invented. Before we had schools, guess who taught your children? You did as parents. And guess what? It worked. Now we're sending them off to a teacher, a 30-person classroom, where the only thing they have in common is their date of manufacture, their age. This is crazy. We're creating standards. We're inventing new kinds of math. Do you know Algebra 2 and Algebra 2 trig and pre-calculus didn't even exist? You just went straight from arithmetic and a bit of algebra into calculus. I teach math for a living. I know for a fact that you do not need Algebra 2, pre-calculus, trig in order to do calculus. I invented a 1-hour lecture that teaches you all the math you need to know to take calculus. And yet, the education system has created 4 years of useless math for us to take. Imagine that for English. Imagine that down the list. The entire concept of high school is not necessary. We need someone to change it. And that's not going to be changed by the teachers. It's not going to be changed by educators because they need the money. They need to be working. This has to be done from the community. The community needs to learn how to teach its own. Well, what if every child knew how life insurance worked? What if every child, by the time they were an adult, had a life insurance license? What if every child had a physical fitness training license? Instead of giving empty certificates like diplomas, we actually gave people certificates. Can you see that there is a lot of change that needs to happen in the country? And it can happen. It's very easy. We just need enough people to be free from their job, their just over broke, their job, to be able to implement these changes. And that, my friends, is what you guys will be able to do when you are finally free, when you finally remove the shackles of slavery and stop needing that job because you now have independent wealth. This is what ANWO is offering. Make no mistake, it is revolutionary what we're doing, and I am very, very excited to be a part of this and to lead it from the front. I know you've seen our blurb, but I'd like to read you a small couple of paragraphs about our goal for you.
Welcome to a new world of opportunity team, moving you from dreaming to doing. Introducing a perfect lifetime income retirement strategy. In today's shaky economy, there is uncertainty about the future. Amidst this anxiety of an unstable life, ANWO presents a groundbreaking solution. A self-driving life insurance sales system, designed to empower individuals with financial security. And guess what? You could earn up to $700,000 in just 360 days. Say goodbye to financial stress and hello to a secure future. In ANWO, retirement planning has become easier, more reliable, and more profitable than ever. With a perfect lifetime income retirement strategy, ANWO is not just offering a product. We're offering a path to a secure and prosperous future, where worries about financial instability become a thing of the past. Are you curious about how it all works? Head over to our presentation, and let us show you how a perfect lifetime income retirement strategy can transform your future. Join our team today. Don't miss out. Be part of ANWO World of Opportunity team. Sign up now and let's make a difference together.
Great. How'd you like that? Pretty cool, huh? Well, wait till you see this. Boom. This is the kind of money that we used to be able to make for you guys. We're much faster than this. Within the first 90 days, we used to make you $6,300 gross. The first 180 days, that up to $22,000. In 270 days, you were getting $111,000. And by the end of the year, you were making $489,300. And that's without even being licensed. Once you're licensed, you'll make $699,000 in 360 days. That's the old model, by the way. But just looking at that old model, how much do you think we should charge in order to gross $500,000 a year for you? Well, how much would you have to invest in McDonald's in order to make $500,000 a year? $7 million. Arguably, we should charge $7 million for this, right? No matter how you slice it, even if you want to open up a car dealership, which is one of the cheapest ways that you can make $500,000, you still have to buy $300,000 worth of cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, whatnot. And you have to get a lot, and you have to worry about things getting stolen and scratched and all that. It's a high-risk profession, but that's why there are lots of small used car dealerships, because they do make good money. A $300,000 investment to make $500,000 a year. Now, if you notice, our numbers are actually going up, right? We don't show you what next year would have been because it would blow everyone's mind. This business only makes more and more money over time. And by the way, all of that money was made without a single policy being sold by the actual business owner. Imagine if you actually start selling policies, how much more you could make. How much should we charge? It's not $300,000. It's not $30,000. It's not even $3,000. In our old model, we used to charge $2,500. Now, you're also a business owner, right? So you should own your product. You should own one of these policies. These policies are not cheap. A good policy should be about $500 a month. Now, for those of you listening who are life insurance agents, how many policies do you write a month that are $500? I can hear the salivation in your mouths. Yes, we write $500 policies, and you will have a $500 policy. Well, $500 for 3 months is $1,500, plus $2,500, it's a $4,000 ultimate investment back in the day with our old model to net you $6,300 in 90 days. That's almost a 57% return on your investment, or ROI, in 90 days. Who can do better than that? Not even Berkshire Hathaway can do that, right? Not even Warren Buffett can do that. Not even Michael Jordan can flip that kind of money that quickly. And yet, that was our old model. And then, of course, that goes up to $22,000, $11,000 without hardly any more money being put into the business. But I digress. That is our old method. Now, let's talk about our new method. Making money is not easy. It requires a recipe for success. I'd also like to mention that here is Hung Kwach's name, his license, and our brick and mortar. This is our office. We put everything on the table. We are 100% transparent. We do things differently here. Before we get into this recipe for success, though, I'd like to talk a bit about making money. How can you make money? Well, of course, the JOB. You can make it through a business, or you can invest. A job will make you money, not that much though, right? Just over broke. It is secure. However, you can't leave. As soon as you leave, you stop making money. And it's limited. Ever try to advance in a job? Think about it. How many people are in your position? Tens, hundreds, thousands? How many people are managers? Much less, right? Maybe a tenth. How many people are upper management? Maybe only 1%. So if you want to be upper level management, there's only 3 ways that can happen. Either the person above you dies, or they quit, or they get fired. Well, that sets up a pretty interesting culture where you're hoping your leader dies, quits, or gets fired? Let's say the incredible happens and your manager does leave. Well, who's taking over their position? You've got tens, hundreds, maybe thousands of people vying for that one position. Do you think they're just going to kneel down and let whoever wants to take it, take it? No way. There's backstabbing, there's conniving, there's all sorts of manipulation. And so you wonder why the job is such a hostile work environment. That's the reason. So of course, people are interested in businesses and in investing. However, both require a lot of money to get started. We already talked about business, how much it takes to make that kind of money. Investing, good night. You'd be lucky if you can get 5 or 6% on an investment. So you're talking about putting up maybe $10 million to make $500,000 a year. But it's passive, meaning you don't have to do anything if you run a successful business. It runs itself. The problem is there are lots of risks. And those risks create fear. Fear of insecurity. Am I in the right field? Did I choose the right field to get into? What about the risk? I used to have a friend whose parents made a lot of money selling Beanie Babies. I bet no one even knows what a Beanie Baby is. I had another friend who started this wonderful juice company right when Jamba Juice was starting to take off. Guess what? He lost everything. There's also uncertainty. 99% of businesses fail within the first 2 years. Why are you going to be successful? Remember, it takes a lot of guts to start a business, a lot of intelligence, a lot of money. Do you think idiots are starting businesses? No. Very smart people are starting businesses and they're failing by the droves. And they're failing with all of their money because yes, businesses and investment requires capital. Looking at investing, we're here in 2024 when this video is made. What company would you invest in right now? It's going to be tricky for the next few years. Did you know that 49% of the years the Dow Jones doesn't make any money? Had you invested money between 2000 and 2009, you really wouldn't have made any money. Had you invested at all between World War I and World War II, you wouldn't have made any money. Had you invested between 1900 and 1928, you wouldn't have made any real money. So why are people putting their money in the stock market? Good question. Well, it's because HR is telling you to, right? When you get hired, they tell you to start a 401k. Worst thing you could do, by the way. 401k in no way helps the individual, only helps the corporation. And you'll learn that in our advanced IUL class. There is real fear. And you know what happens when you're afraid? All the blood rushes from your brain into your legs so you can run away from that saber-toothed tiger. The prefrontal lobe shuts down so you can't think about getting your arm bitten off. How do you think fear affects your ability to think about high-level concepts like running a business? So even if you're trying to run a business, these fears are still real and they affect how you think, how you act, how you behave, how you present yourself, even how you smell. Dogs can smell the fear on you. So everyone's walking around in fear trying to start these businesses. No wonder everyone fails in a business. Well, you know how you mitigate fear? With a recipe. What if you had a recipe for success? Okay, let me put this in perspective. Let's say you've never made a cake before and you've got your mom or your dad's birthday coming up and you love them and you want to make them a cake and you have no idea what you're doing. It's kind of scary, right? However, if you went to the store or went online and found a recipe, that would mitigate your fear. So what is a recipe for a cake? Well, simple. You get eggs, flour, and oil. You preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Mix the ingredients with a cake mix, and you bake it for 30 minutes. 4 steps, voila. So if you look at those 4 steps, do you think you could now build a cake? Yes. Where's that fear now? Exactly. Well, we have invented a recipe for success financially. Now remember, this recipe, as simple as it is, has actually become more simple since our inception. Initially, we asked you to sign up with our team. You had to join, sign some contracts, pay a couple of fees, and essentially give your life away to us. No, I'm kidding. But you did have to commit to working with us. Okay, well that's still largely true, but there's no fees anymore. Next, not only were there small fees, you also had to pay a one-time business setup fee, that $2,500 I talked about earlier. And then finally, you had to bring in one life sales account. Could be a policy on yourself or someone else. And yes, you had to fund it yourself. In the end, you spent about $4,000-$4,300 to get started in order to make that gross of $6,300 and net about a 50% profit. Okay, what's step 4? Relax. Let the system run its business for you. Okay, it's not really a step 4, huh? And what about step 5? Enjoy continuous passive income for life. Okay, now you're just playing with us. Yes, this recipe for financial success is really only 3 steps. So let's compare them. Can you see that our recipe for success is as easy, maybe even easier than making a cake? And that was our old system. We now have a new system. Would you like to see it? Good. Well, this might be the ad you've seen. Now, instead of charging $2,500, we pay you $3,750. Because guess what? You're profitable within that first month. The $500 to $1,000 you might have to pay to get your license, take the test, take the classes, do the fingerprinting, get the little PDF. That's almost $200 just to get them to give you the PDF. Take even more classes afterwards, getting appointed, all of that. That can cost $500 to $1,000. We pay all that for you, and we get you licensed within 2 weeks. Our licensing course is that awesome. But we also give you amazing professional development. I was trained by the folks who ran HP's executive leadership program for decades. I am trained on teaching people how to run a business as successful as HP in the heydays. We use something called flat leadership or servant leadership. We use a strategy called team self-management, where instead of making the person at the top in charge of everyone, we make the people who like being in charge. And we don't give them that much power. We just let them kind of check up on things. And we let the artists be artists. And we let the show-offs be show-offs. There's something called a product life cycle. And we can map anyone's personality into the product life cycle so that at all points in the day, you are doing something that you enjoy, that gives you energy, that gives you value, that improves your self-esteem, that allows you to self-actualize. HP figured it out. Actually, Mike Sturm figured it out. He developed a company called Spherical Dynamics or 5 Dynamics. He trained a good friend named Diego. Diego then went and spread it to thousands of community colleges with my help. I have trained thousands of people in this very high level CEO, top executive, transformational, experiential techniques. And I give this all to you guys. And yes, it gets better. We are 100% remote. Of course, if you live close to San Jose, you're welcome to. And as we pop up more and more brick and mortars throughout, because eventually everyone will have their own thriving life insurance business, you'll want to set up a brick and mortar, a place to go where some nice air conditioning, you can meet some people with some leather chairs, and maybe meet some high-end clients. Speaking of high-end clients, guess what? I know how to turn your $500 policy into a $10 million policy within about 5 years. And with a $10 million policy, you don't pay a thing. Banks bankroll your policy, and they make some money off of it. And guess what? You walk away with hundreds of thousands of dollars tax-free for the rest of your life. Yes, I will show everyone how to do that. When you bring amazing geniuses together that have strong hearts, high sense of purpose and social justice, that are deeply spiritual in their own right, because let's face it, if you're happy but your family isn't, no one's happy. If your family's happy but your local community isn't, you can't be very happy. If your local community is happy but the world isn't happy, can you truly be happy? I say no. And so we only want people coming in here who truly want to make the world a better place and make some money as well. That's called social entrepreneurship. We are doing things differently here. And finally, we're not fishing for you. We're not even teaching you how to fish. We are going to teach you how to be a teacher. Our goal is not to make you a life insurance agent, and those of you guys who are life insurance agents know that you can make good money, but it's a lot of work. No, we are going to show you how to run a successful life insurance company where you're not having to worry about selling policies, because the system runs itself. Remember those 30 million Americans who need policies, don't have one? Done. Remember those 3 billion, 4 billion people worldwide that could use policies? Working on it. We are going to change the world forever. Walk with me. I'd like to take this time to congratulate you on taking your first step toward financial freedom. Roses through the concrete. You guys all have busy lives. You guys all have a lot going on. Some of you may be sick right now, and yet you're watching this video, believing in it, moving forward, and we will take care of you. So please finish this survey, fill out the information, submit a resume if you wish. It's not necessary. Then hit the little next button at the bottom. It will then open up our community of practice. We are open soon, 24/7. Right now, it's 10 to 10, Monday through Saturday, Pacific Standard Time. So please adjust accordingly. And in this community of practice, you'll meet me, you'll meet Hung, you'll meet Taz, you'll meet a whole bunch of other people who are excellent in the business and have a lot to share. And you will further your education with us. And it's all for free. No, scratch that. We will pay you, because if you do what we say, you will be profitable. And you will then share in that profit within the first month. Looking forward to meeting you guys. Take care. Bye.